Hello students, welcome to financial accounting class. In the previous class we were dealing with different methods of cost price wherein we need to evaluate the consignment stock. So in consignment stock, if we are evaluating under cost price method, these were the different methods that we have seen and also the different formulas for these methods. Today we'll be dealing with the second method, that is invoice price method. First one was cost price method. Now next is the invoice price method. Now invoice price method is also the similar kind of price cost price method. See, even in invoice price method, you are going to evaluate the consignment stock under when there is no loss of goods. Then how will you evaluate it? The formula under invoice price method will be consignment stock is equal to unsold units into, here it is cost price unit, there you will be writing invoice price per unit. Wherever it is cost price, there you will be replacing, wherever cost price is there you will be replacing it with invoice price method per unit. Okay, and then the same thing, that is total NRE divided by total units sent into unsold units. Okay, second one is wherein when there is abnormal loss of goods in transit. So again the formula will be when it is invoice price. For invoice price, again it will be consignment stock is equal to unsold units into cost price per unit plus where it is written cost price per unit, there will be replacing it with invoice price per unit. Why? Because we are trying to solve the second method. Okay, there are two methods. I have told, if you are getting confused, just here. Consignment stock can be valued in two methods. One is the cost price method and second is the invoice price method. So cost price method we have already seen these 5 steps. Okay, the 5 ways of calculating consignment stock. So invoice price also is the similar one. You'll be calculating invoice price also in these 5 ways itself. Okay, when there is abnormal loss, when there is normal loss, when there is abnormal as well as normal loss of goods. Okay, when there is no loss of goods, the same kind you will be solving, but wherever cost price is written, there you will be replacing it with invoice price method. Okay, as I told you, the first one, that is consignment stock is equal to unsold units into, where it is written cost price, there you will be replacing it with invoice price per unit and then the remaining part of the formula. Okay, similarly here also the second way, second type, wherein if there is abnormal loss of goods in transit, then here it is cost price per unit, there you will be writing invoice price per unit. All right, the third one, when there is abnormal loss of goods at the premises of consignee, then the same way you will be writing the formula, only where it is written cost price, there you will be writing invoice price per unit, and so on for the next two formulas as well. All right, now let's look in, this is what I told you in case of invoice price. Invoice price is the cost of the consignment stock is valued same as cost price method by considering invoice price per unit instead of cost price per unit. Okay, there's a small mistake here. It is instead of cost price method, you should write it cost price per unit. All right, next. Now this is what we studied in case of this is what we finished with the valuation of consignment stock. We are done with both the methods, that is cost price as well as invoice price. This is what we studied in case of consignment stock. Okay, when the goods are being returned by the consignee to the consigner, whether they are defective or if they are not up to the standards or if it doesn't require, then when the consigner is accepting, then there are two methods. One is cost price as well as invoice price. So we have seen these two methods. Now we'll deal with the further aspect of the consignment, wherein now this is what is if it is cost price method, see whether when there is consignment taking place, the consigner has to maintain some amount of books. Okay, he has to maintain some amount of books with him so that he gets to know whether he's into profit or he's into loss. All right. So he prepares different accounts. So which are the accounts that he prepares? See here, accounts are being, again, there are two methods. That is, first one is in terms of cost price method, and second is, that is the these are the methods of accounting. First one is cost price method and second is the invoice price method. All right. Now, which are the different books that a consignor maintains when he is following cost price method? I'll just read out what is cost price method. The goods are consigned by the consignee at cost price without adding the profit. Okay. Now, when the goods are sent to the consignee by the consignor, he never adds the amount of profit. Okay, he will always send the goods at cost price, and he will write it in the pro forma invoice that what is the cost price that of those goods. He'll be writing it in pro forma invoice, and the consignor makes profit. Okay, the consignor makes profit because the consignee sells the goods at a higher price than the cost price. Now, to give you a simple idea, what I'm explaining here is, suppose if the consignor makes expenses, that is the cost of production or the cost price of the product is say 100. Okay. Now, when the consignor is sending the goods to the consignee, he will say that the cost of the goods is 100 only. He will not include his profit. He will send the goods to consignee at 100 rupees only. Now, the consignee, when he is selling the goods to the customers, he will sell it more than 100. Okay. Let's say the consignee is, that is the agent, is selling at 110. So why he is selling at 110? So that the consignor, the owner, makes some amount of profit. Okay. Then there are different books being maintained by the consignor. First one is consignment account, goods sent on consignment account, consignee's account, and next is consignment stock account. So basically, the consignor maintains different books, these 4 books apart from the other accounts. Okay. Now, first one, that is consignment stock account. Now, this is basically like profit and loss account that we prepare. Okay. If you see, you have the debit and the credit. I have just messed up with the debit and the credit part over here. Do write it here as debit and here as credit. Okay. So, the consignment stock account consists of the same like the profit and loss account, what we normally prepare, and there you get to know, the consignor gets to know what is the amount of profit and what is the amount of loss. Basically, there are this consignment account is prepared for different consignees. For example, if the consignor is having 2 consignees, let's say consignee, that is the agent, there are 2 agents where he gives the goods, that is, he gives the right to sell the goods. Let's say it is A and B, consignee A and consignee B. So he will open this consignment stock account for consignee A as well as consignee B. So different accounts for different consignees are being opened by the consignor so that he gets to know what is the amount of profit and what is the amount of loss that he makes from each of the consignees. Okay, from each of the consignment. Okay, so this account is just basically like profit and loss account that we prepare, and you get to know what is the amount of profit or what is the amount of loss being done. So let's read out how we prepare consignment stock account. To the debit side, you have 2 consignment stock account, in the bracket opening stock. Next, 2 goods sent on consignment, in the bracket goods sent. Now see, opening stock we recorded to the debit side, goods sent. Okay. Next, cash expenses. Okay, to cash account, that is expenses by consignor. Next, to consignee's account, expenses made by consignee. Next, by consignee's account. Okay, here you got to, that is a little, I'll just type it out. By consignee's account, that is sales proceeds by consignee. Then by goods sent on consignment account, that is goods returned. By abnormal loss account, accident loss of goods whether insured or not. Okay. By consignment stock account, closing stock, and then we tally the account, and then we get to know whether it is profit or it is into loss. If it is profit, you will be recording it to the debit side, that is to general profit and loss account, balancing figure, that is profit. And if it is to the credit side, if the credit side is having a balancing figure, then it is general loss, that is balancing figure in terms of loss. All right, I hope you have understood this consignment stock account. Do write this pro forma so that you get to know when we are preparing the accounts. Next account that we are going to study is the goods sent on consignment account. Now here in goods sent on consignment account, again there are two sides, that is the debit and the credit. The sales account, which wherein it tells you what is the amount of balance to be transferred to trading account at the end. So this is basically like sales account what we prepare, and this tells you as to what is the balance to be transferred to the trading and trading account. Okay, so goods sent on consignment account is how do we prepare it? To the debit side, you have two consignment account, and next to the credit side, by consignment account, that is goods sent. Okay, balance of this is nothing but to trading account, that is balance of the goods sent account is transferred to trading account. All right, hope you have understood today's class. In the next tutorial we'll see the remaining aspects of the accounts. Okay, thank you.